Hi, welcome back to my channel. It has just finished Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1 at Old Trafford. It's now time for the aftermath where I go over that game. If you're both sets of fans, you'll have mixed reactions, but overall, Man United and West Ham have helped each other out in this game. It's helped West Ham to secure Premier League survival with one game to go, and it's helped Manchester United push on for Champions League football next season. As I'm a West Ham fan, obviously, I'm going to talk about it from a West Ham perspective mainly. That draw should feel like a win, in a way, because Manchester United have been very tough to beat in the Premier League since Project Restart, and it showed that West Ham actually have plans and stick to them. Moyes came to that game with a plan in mind, with a certain idea in mind. West Ham stuck to that for the most part, and were looking very good. Disappointed that West Ham didn't take all 3 points, but I'll still take a draw. And it's a very big point for West Ham. I'm going to go through the starting lineups, some key performances from some West Ham players, and talk about some controversial moments. In this time, VAR works in West Ham's favour. So that's another good thing that fans probably weren't expecting. And I'll explain why in this video. Moyes named an unchanged side from the game against Watford, but it was going to be a really big test for right-back Ben Johnson because he had to go up against Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and possibly Mason Greenwood. And in the opening 10 minutes, I think Johnson did a really good job of tracking back Rashford and stopping him from making anything of his balls. Man United started off the game very brightly, and in the same opening 10 minutes, they forced Fabianski into 2 saves. West Ham had to track back a lot, be very tight marking the players. Rice, Souček and Noble were in particular. And Angelo Ogbonna in defence was solid in that first half. He blocked a lot of shots and got a lot of balls away. As for West Ham, things started to pick up a little bit after the drinks break. Pablo Fornals started to hassle a lot of Man United players. He was getting the ball back and going the other way with it. Bowen and Antonio were getting into a lot of space, putting in some crosses, creating something, but they weren't really testing David De Gea, as wasn't the rest of the team. And I would have liked us to have tested De Gea a little bit more in the first half and put the defence through its paces, but we didn't do it. Having said that though, West Ham did take the lead through a penalty, and the events leading up to the penalty were obvious that it was going to result in a spot kick. From the free kick, Declan Rice takes the shot from outside the box. Pogba's in the box, he puts his hands in front of his face to block the shot, but ends up pushing it away with his hands. Did he think he was like David De Gea or something and trying to save a goal? Did he forget that he was a midfielder then or something? Who knows? Either way, VAR checked it over, and after seeing about 3 replays on my screen, I just thought, well, this has to be given. Because if this is not given, I will smash this laptop and it'll mean no more YouTube. But only joking there. Definitely was a penalty, definitely was given by VAR. I was a happy hammer at this point. Now, Mark Noble usually takes West Ham spot kicks, but this time Mikel Antonio stepped up to get his 10th goal. Well, tried to get his 10th goal of the season, kind of gave it away there. He just slotted it very coolly into the net. It was 1-0 West Ham, and Antonio has double figures for the first time in a Premier League season. He's finally scored 10 goals in a season, and 8 of them have come after Project Restart. I said it in my video last week for the Watford game, give Antonio Player of the Month. He's got nothing else to prove given these statistics. It was half time, West Ham were winning 1-0. I was looking at the game and I was thinking, oh, this is pretty good actually. West Ham have a plan, look organised, structured, disciplined. Had a bit of a nervy start, but they grew into the game and really gave it to Man United. In the second half, Man United continued to press as they did at the start of the first half. West Ham just had to stick the ground out. Ogbonna, again, clearing a lot of balls and getting in the way. Rice, Noble, Souček were getting in the way of a lot of the time and getting rid of balls and going back the other way. And that added to the claim that West Ham were organised, the one that I said earlier. West Ham did look organised and they stuck to the plan as well. That's all I can really say about that. West Ham stuck to the plan and made sure that Man United were restricted. And that's not been very easy to do, especially with how United have been playing, and particularly now that Bruno Fernandes is leading the way for them. Well, I mentioned Fernandez's name. He had a very quiet second half. He didn't really do a hell of a lot, and he was pocketed. Man United eventually would break down West Ham's defence, and I have seen a few replays. I'd have to say Crespo was at fault for the goal because he was too slow to get onto Greenwood. Greenwood's able to fire home after a good link-up from Anthony Martial. So it was disappointing the lead was gone, but 1-1. Points still looked on the cards. I wasn't too mad. West Ham still continued to play well. They didn't let the heads drop because of that equaliser. After that equaliser, West Ham still looked very lively, and it was particularly one player who was leading the way here, Jarrod Bowen. United's defence made Bowen look like Paulo Dybala. I'm not sure who I was watching there, but oh my goodness, Jarrod Bowen looks the real deal. Next season he's going to set the Premier light at this rate. The way that he's getting on that wing, cutting in, putting in crosses, and the way that he's hassling defenders, it was joy to watch. Another fantastic performance from him. Declan Rice also attempted a long-range effort and it went wide of the goal. Very opportunistic from him, but mind you, he did it last week against Watford. Probably fancied his chances again, but it wasn't to be. Cresswell then came off because of an injury and Arthur Masuaku came on. And Masuaku tried to make an immediate impact. He was getting a lot of the ball. Got involved in a little scuffle with Fernandez, which nothing came to, thankfully. But Masuaku was trying to get stuck in as soon as he came on. He's a player West Ham fans have criticised because no one knows whether he's a left-back or a winger, or if he's even good in the left-back position. But naturally, he plays at left-back, so that's why he replaced Cresswell. Man United just looked really, really tired, actually. West Ham just kept on pressing, kept on going at him, and getting into a lot of space. And the fact that West Ham created a lot of space was good to see as well, because that's how you exploit a team. Getting into the space, getting into those gaps, and making them pay. And we got into the gaps, but we didn't make them pay in the end. So the end result was 1-1. And definitely take the point. It was a fantastic point, well deserved. It showed West Ham's grit, fight and determination since Project Restart. I have to give a lot of credit to David Moyes because he set up the team properly. He was right not to change the team. Very wise decision. If it's not broken, you don't fix it. Johnson had a very tough test going up against some class attackers, and I think he handled them pretty well. Souček and Rice look good as well in midfield. Fornals has started to look a little bit better game after game. He's just taken time to find his feet in this league. And Bowen. Jarrod Bowen. I had to stop for a minute because I was about to correct myself and say Paulo Dybala. I couldn't tell who was who because, like I say, United made Bowen look like Dybala. And I think Bowen deserves a lot more goals at West Ham because of how good he's been. He's only got one so far. He had 16 with Hull. So goals will come, but everything else is looking good from him. We're really lucky to have him, and we're really lucky to have a player of his quality. That's what's been really good about West Ham in the last few weeks. They've either started off from the top and gone forward and made the statement of intent straight away, or if it's been a bigger team, West Ham have grown into the game, adapted, understood what the other team is trying to do, and then exploits that team where possible. And it's a good system. Now that summer transfer window's coming up, it's a time for Moyes to show what he can do with his wheeling and dealing. The first stage will be to tie down Declan Rice and keep him at West Ham and build the team around him. Rice should be made captain and get an improved deal. As for any potential signings, I kind of trust Moyes because he's made 3 signings in the total time he's been at West Ham, and the 3 signings that he made in particular changed our club for the better. João Mario back in 2018, Thomas Souček, and then Jarrod Bowen. All 3 players weren't relatively known, they didn't cost tons, but they still made a difference. And if we can get difference-making players from teams that no one else would think to look at, then I'm all for him signing. Give him a good transfer budget and let him spend and let him work a bit of transfer magic with us. Because I think he can do it with the right funds. Thank you very much for watching this episode of The Aftermath. I'm just very happy now that West Ham are officially safe. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. I am going to be recording the Anvil tomorrow, because I'll have time to do it. I've been promising it over the last 2 or 3 videos and never got round to it, so now I've dedicated myself to doing another episode tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you all soon.